other filming locations of the invasion, we must visit London and Gloucestershire.
Of course.
There are so many, it has taken a while to visit all the locations. Enjoy Doctor Who Locations Guide, The Invasion.
We're going to film the whole video in two sections. Part of it was filmed in London and the other half was filmed in Gloucestershire. This is the first location, Princedale Road, which is just off Holland Park, London Underground station. Sadly, it's from episode 1 where the Doctor, Jamie and Zoe get dropped off at Professor Travers' house. But as episode 1 is missing, there's no actual footage of it, so we don't know where they filmed it, but this is the street. So enjoy the video. This is Walmer Road, near Westfields at White City. This was where the Doctor and Jamie are walking down the road and notice that they are being followed by units. This is looking the other way where the unit car pulls up. This private car park behind me used to be Heathfield Street, which was providing access to the warehouses. But since the warehouses have been demolished and it is now all just private housing, it is now just a private car park. Looking the other way up what used to be Heathfield Street, there's now a big wall built in front of the middle of it. But this is where the Doctor and Jamie are running down the alleyway. Millbank Tower near Pimlico is where Vaughn's office was. Around the back of Millbank Tower is this corner park, and this is where the Doctor and Jamie look out after exiting Vaughn's office. The Acton's permission with the parlour.
There's no one in there except that stupid computer. That won't tell us anything.
The main entrance has been changed to allow wheelchair access, but this was the entrance to Vaughn's office. Just around the corner from North Acton Underground is Oakwood Business Park. This was used for Vaughn's headquarters where all the train tracks were. Unfortunately, it's all been demolished and replaced by these warehouses and businesses behind me now. On Standard Road on the corner are these older looking buildings, and we believe that that might be the ones the Doctor and Jamie run past as they enter the gates into Vaughn's base. Cunningham Place, near the Warwick Avenue Underground station, is Regeants Canal, and it was through this tunnel behind the fence here where the Doctor and Jamie enter the sewer on the canoe. Sadly, there's no access down there, and this railing you can't even see it, so you have to stick your camera through the fence to see it. The only way you can see it properly is by a boat. So, but this is the best we've got. Fore Street, which is just off of Moorgate station, is where the policeman notices Zoe and Isabel going into the sewer. All the buildings have literally been demolished. The only building which still exists from the episode is that block of flats there. Also at the junction with Moor Lane is this building behind me, and you can see this when they're trying to get the Cybermen back down into the sewer. Right here is the manhole cover which the Cybermen came out from, and it is on the junction between Moor Lane.
Oh, my leg! Alright, hold on, Davy. Sergeant!
Just off of Fore Street is Moor Lane. Just after the bridge was where Jamie, Zoe and Isabella was dropped off by a unit to go into the sewer. The whole place has been completely demolished, including the wall, but if you look right at the back, you can just about see the block of flats in the distance, which was used in the episode.
Look, at least let's call the doctor out first.
We are now in Cumberland Terrace, which is near Great Portland Street. We can't get the exact angle because it was originally taken over the road behind the fence, but in 45 years, over 50 years later, all the trees and everything have grown up over it, so we can't get that angle anymore. This is the closest we can get. So this is the building of the morning of the Cyberman invasion when it was all quiet. Australia House at Temple doubles for a quiet morning before the Cyberman invasion. Outside McDonald's on Ludgate Hill, looking up towards St Paul's Cathedral, was a shot the morning before the Cyberman invasion. On the other side of the street, opposite Night Rider Street at St Peter's Hill, is Distaff Lane. The original building where the wall was, where the man who collapsed, has actually been demolished and has been replaced with this building, but this was where it was. The only part of Distaff Lane which still exists from the episode is the bit where the man with the headache with the close-up shot. You can see the church behind me, which has now been overgrown with by a tree, and the same block of flats. The block of flats where the old lady could hear the Cyberman signal was behind me, those two flats behind her. The entire street here has been completely demolished, but you can see by the position of these flats where the old ones were. St Peter's Hill near St Paul's Cathedral is where the Cybermen were walking down the steps. Since the 1990s they've redeveloped the steps, so there's a lot more breaks in the steps, so it's different, and the building on the left hand side has also been knocked down, but you can still see the same shot of the cathedral. Victoria Street, this manhole cover was where the Cybermen smashed out. And behind me you can see the cathedral. Of course, in the episode the manhole cover was on the road, but since 1968 they've extended the path, so the manhole cover is now on the path. Also on Great Queen Street is the College of Arms. At the moment it's covered in scaffolding, but this is where the old man heard the Cyberman invasion, when they made that horrible sound. Just off the St Paul's Cathedral steps is Night Rider Street, and it was around this corner, around the side of the pub, where you can see the Cybermen invading for the first time. Numbers 20 and 21, St James's Park, which is at Shepherd's Bush, was Professor Watkins' house. It was specifically number 21. Looking out away from the house, you can see the scene where Mr. Vaughn's men turned up and they managed to shoot Jamie in the back. Directly outside North Acton station is BBC Victoria Road. The whole place has been demolished and is now Tesco and flats.
Doctor, get down! Right, bazooka!
This is Heathfield Road in Fairford. This is from a missing episode, so we don't actually know where on the road it was filmed, but this was the scene where the Doctor gets a lift to London in the car. It looks like most of the road is now a new housing estate from the last 50 years or so I think it was probably much more countryside than what it is now. However, this wall looks like it would have been there when filming, so that's why we picked this exact spot. This is RAF Fairford. It is private and belongs to the army, so I wouldn't recommend this one. This is the only lay-by that we could find where you could safely take a photo of anything. And this was where the unit jeeps came out of the plane. This is Kempsford Quarry, down Washpool Lane, and it was here where the entrance was to Tobias Vaughn going into his headquarters. This is the entrance gate to the quarry, and it looks like it's in the exact same space where it was in 1968. And it also looks quite open behind this gate, which it also looked quite open if you look at the original footage as well. The International Electronics Building, the roof section, was filmed here at Sovereign Place. The whole place has been completely demolished and replaced with a brand new housing estate. But behind me here, you can just about see the old railway line with some of the trains still there. William Strip Farm is a private house, and the driveway here was used in Doctor Who. We did get permission from the owners, so don't just turn up. And this was where the unit jeep drives to drop the Doctor off back to the TARDIS. And this is the shot looking from the gate. Good.
Here?
Yes, this is fine, thank you.
The corner shows Jamie and Zoe watching the Doctor find the TARDIS. The road that's parallel to the road outside is where the Doctor is trying to search for the invisible TARDIS. There it is.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you'd better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic.
Just around the corner from North Acton Underground is Oakwood Business Park.
Action.
Regent's Canal.
Wig.
Oh yeah, Wig Canal. Shit. On the other side.